What's happening, guys? So today is going to be a video review of a movie I've actually been wanting to review for a very long time, which is The Avengers. That's right, the film starring Sean Connery and Uma Thurman and that one guy that played Lord Voldemort in the Harry Potter movies. Now, it's the wrong movie. What are you talking about? It's The Avengers. Oh, you mean the actual good Avengers movie. My mistake. So instead of reviewing that horrible movie, I will instead be reviewing the good Avengers movie, which has all the superheroes in it that came out a few months ago. Why didn't just review it back when it first came out? I don't know. I just didn't. I don't even know why. But today I'm here to review it, seeing as how it's almost the end of the summer, and this was the film that actually started up the summer season. So let's get started with the cast. The cast in this movie was amazing, just simply amazing. Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark / Iron Man, what can I say? He always does a great job in these movies. He did, great, brings a bunch of humor, a lot of, drama here and there. He just did a great job, all around. We also have Chris Evans back as Captain America / Steve Rogers. And he also did a very good job. Like, every person in this movie did a very, very good job. I really liked his Captain America, and I didn't really doubt him when they announced that he was going to be Captain America in Captain America the First Avenger and in this movie. I didn't really doubt him. I just, it was very weird, but I didn't doubt him. He did a good job here. We also have Chris Hemsworth. I believe that's his name, Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, reprising his role as Thor, who also does a great job. Like I said, everyone does a great job here. He also did a very good job. I thought he was bad. He was also really badass in this movie as Thor, just smacking everyone with his hammer. He was great in this movie. I love Chris Hemsworth's one of my favorite actors now because of this movie. We also have Mark Ruffalo replacing Edward Norton as the Hulk / Bruce Banner in this movie. And he actually did better than, I think Edward Norton did. The thing I like about this new Hulk is that he brought something new to the character of the Hulk first. He actually did the motion capturing effects to make himself look like the Hulk. That's why he looks a lot like the Hulk in this movie, which I did really like. Second thing I really liked about him was the fact that he did do a lot of, scientist stuff. Like, in the other two movies, I don't think he really did that much, doctor / scientist stuff, technical stuff. So here, I really like that it was sort of his time to shine in that. So I really did like that. We also have Jeremy Renner. I'm just mispronouncing everyone's names. Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye in this movie. And I also did like him. I think he was one of the main characters that didn't get that much screen time. But he did, he was really cool whenever he was in any scene that he was in. So I really liked him too. We also have Scarlett Johansson as the Black Widow. She also did a great job. Like I said, everyone in this movie did their, a great job, and I really liked her character because, they went a lot more into her backstory, and she was almost like the main character in this movie. Like, she was the one that got the most screen time, personally. That's what I thought, and she was the most interesting character to me, seeing as how she was one of the only characters that didn't really get that backstory in any of the other Marvel Avengers lead-up movies, so that's really good. But the standout performance in this movie is the villain, Loki, portrayed by Tom Hiddleston. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. And he was amazing. He's such a great villain. He's up there with, the Joker from The Dark Knight, or, the T-1000 from Terminator 2. He's just, there's, anytime he's on screen, it's just, this presence that, you're gonna get, messed up pretty bad if, you go up to this guy and you mess with him. You're gonna get killed. And he is just insane in this movie. He's even more badass than he was in Thor, if that's possible, because he was pretty badass in Thor. So that goes for the cast. The next thing were the action scenes. There were many action scenes in this movie, and they were all filmed perfectly, and they looked great along with the special effects. They looked great. I think my personal favorite was the ending, because it had everyone, fighting, that was just the best, personally. And the thing, I mentioned this before, I like the Black Widow. She was my favorite character in this movie. It was because we got, she had a very interesting backstory. Well, it wasn't really that, it didn't really explain it that much, but she did. It was very interesting. Again, I haven't seen this movie in a long time. I only saw it once since its release back in May, so I don't really remember a lot of stuff. But, you know, I liked her as sort of the main character, and the only one of my only gripes that you'll ever hear me say about this movie is the fact that Captain America was not the main character. I remember back, you know, they said that, oh, Captain America's going to be the main character in this movie, and I was just like, well, you know, I was kind of expecting that, but he was barely in this, he was in the movie, but I thought he was the character that got the least amount of screen time, which is very ironic. You know, out of all the people in this movie, I thought he was the one that got the least amount of screen time. That kind of upset me. And one of the other things I really like about this movie is the jokes, the humor in it, which is hilarious. Like, there were, like, several times that I was just bursting out laughing in theaters. And to a comic book movie, that was really sort of weird. Especially this movie. Like, Joss, I think it's it. Joss Whedon really knows how to write humor really good. I mean, I'm glad that he's going and he's writing and directing the second movie, so we'll get a lot more humor probably. So the humor in this movie was just hilarious. I think my favorite scene, I think as well as everyone's, is sort of a toss-up between, actually I have two favorites, is a toss-up between the Puny God scene and when Hulk just like abruptly, randomly out of nowhere just punches Thor. That was just, like, that's the moment where I was just bursting out, you know, I burst out laughing just completely. And, you know, that was just my favorite scene in the whole movie, my favorite humor scene also. And the thing it kind of reminds me of, and I know this is a weird topic to bring up, it sort of reminded me of Transformers 3. And that's why I like to call this movie The Avengers, the anti-Transformers 3, or what Transformers 3 should have been. Because this is exactly what Transformers, you know, 3 should have been. Like, there's a lot of, like, stuff in it that makes it feel like that's what Transformers 3 should have been. Like the whole last action scene, the whole climactic battle in the city, that's exactly what it should have been, and I call this anti-Transformers 3, because in Transformers 3, the humor was not funny, it was just stupid, and it was unnecessary. Here, it was funny, and it kind of was necessary, and it's one of the key points in the movie, and that whole last action scene was perfectly done well. It was not its own movie. Like, you don't have to have the last action scene be its own movie. You can have it be like a half hour long and still look pretty, or even 15 minutes, have it prove its point completely. You don't have to have it, you know, be a whole hour. It's just very tiring after a while. Here, it was just perfect. Like, it left me, you know, saying, I want more, and I better get more in the Avengers too. So I really like that. And, you know, this movie was just all around great. One of my favorite movies of all time. One of my favorite movies of the year. Just all around great movie. It's coming out soon on DVD. I'm definitely going to buy it on Blu-ray. Oh my god, this movie, oh my god, it was just so great. So, yeah, just go, you know, when it comes out on DVD, buy it, because it is great. And I'm so glad that's like the third or second, I'm pretty sure the third highest grossing movie of all time. I really wanted it to at least be second, beating Titanic and, you know, Avatar, because those movies are completely overrated. The Avengers, yeah, The Avengers is where it's at, James Cameron. So, I was really mad when this was just third. I'm glad it's at least at third, the highest, one of the three highest, you know, the third highest grossing movie of all time. That's a great honor for a comic book movie, which is just insane. But James Cameron movies that, you know, they just ruined it. But, you know, whatever. But this movie was great. That's why I'm going to give it a rating of 10 Captain America shields. You're probably wondering, well, why I got 10 stars? You know, well, yeah, there's stars on the Captain America shield, so it kind of counts. So, I really love this movie. 10 out of 10 Captain America shields. Great movie. You know, when it comes out on DVD, go see it. Buy it on DVD, Blu-ray. You know, if you don't have a DVD player, VHS. I'm just joking. But go see it, because it is truly an amazing movie. Just go see it. If you have not seen it, then you are a terrible, terrible person. Or, you know, whatever. But yeah, that's what I thought about it. Go, you know, buy it, whatever. See ya.